We asked you guys on our community page what drum sound we should recreate next. You said Larnell Lewis with Snarky Puppy, so here we go. Founded all the way back in 2004 by bassist and bandleader Michael League, Snarky Puppy has earned its name as one of today's top acts in instrumental contemporary music. Their incredible ability to seamlessly blend jazz, pop, fusion, and world music styles is outstanding. Being not exactly a band, but more of a musical collective, Snarky Puppy has around 25 members, with about 9 musicians playing at once in a live show. When Snarky Puppy came to Europe to record their album We Like It Here in 2013, their drummer Robert Spot Seawright couldn't make it to the Netherlands. So the band spontaneously hired Larnell Lewis, who arrived on the very day they started recording, having learned most of the songs on the flight. So when they made the record, there was a lot of improvising going on with a super fresh energy in the room because the rehearsals had been without drums. Larnell went on to meticulously nail his job and stayed in the pool of musicians, playing lots of shows and recording multiple times with the band. The most popular song from that record, and also one of their biggest songs period, Lingus, was released in 2014 on streaming platforms as well as YouTube. It catapulted the band into a whole new level of popularity. Take a listen. When you hear it, it sounds so perfect and virtuosic that it's mind-blowing to think about how quickly Larnell had to learn this and all of the other pieces of music. But now for the drum sound. The drums on the album are pretty much a template for modern high-quality drum sounds. Everything sounds very crisp and clear, yet natural and very musical. We spent some time looking at the setup they used for the We Like It Here sessions, as well as some of the more recent setups of Larnell's, and compared it to our collection of drums. The kit we went with is our Sonor Prolite, which we haven't used in quite some time. Its modern sound is a great fit for what we're going for. The bass drum is 22 inches in diameter and outfitted with Remo power stroke heads, a clear one for the batter and the stock ported one for the reso side. The tuning is medium-low, but high enough for it to not be too clicky. The reso is also slightly higher than the batter. Pascal added a small pillow and a blanket for each head in order to get a short and punchy sound. Here's how it sounds in the mix. Snarky Puppy's music usually includes 3 different snare sounds. First, let's look at the main snare. We used a 14x6 inch Sonor Artist Series cottonwood drum with a coated Remo Ambassador on top. The tuning is medium-high. Dampened with 1 Remo crown gel, this is how it sounds mixed. Larnell typically uses a side snare on his left with a 12-inch splash cymbal on it. He hits right on the cymbal and gets kind of a clap sound. We used a Zildjian A custom 12-inch splash and held it on with a drum G rubber band. The drum itself is a stock Sonor Kompressor snare in a medium tuning. When Pascal hits the cymbal, it sounds like this. One thing that Larnell always does is he uses a deep 14 by 7 inch snare on his ride, just like Spud. He puts on a thick head and tunes it very low so that it can double as a floor tom when the snares are turned off and a fat snare when they're on, hence the name Snom. We used the Sonor Kompressor 14 by 8 aluminum drum and chose a thick Remo Powerstroke 77 head for it. We tuned both heads of the drum quite low. During the setup process, Pascal remembered Larnell talking about orienting the Snom snare wires in a way facing away from him, and also saw it being done live. He didn't remember why, but it sure made the throw-off mechanism easier to get to, so we did the same. If you know the reason, comment below. For muffling, we used 2 Remo crown gels in order to reduce overtones when the snares are on. Here's Pascal demoing both sounds of the drum. For the toms, we used 10, 12, and 16-inch drums with Remo-coated Emperor heads. The drums are tuned medium, not low, with the rezos being a third higher than the batters. We used more crown gels on the rack toms in order to reduce and match the amount of overtones. For the floor tom, Pascal chose one of our trusty Mr. Muff mini muffs on top and some tape on the bottom head to reduce the sort of ring. This is a demo of the toms, including the Snom. Larnell's cymbal setup today has changed slightly since the recording of the album. This might be due to him actually filling in for the session and not having had enough time to choose the cymbals that he would use today. This generally makes the cymbal sounds on We Like It Here brighter than other recordings of the band. Looking at videos from the sessions and researching online, this is what we came up with. A set of 14-inch K Constantinople hi-hats, a 16-inch A medium thin crash, which shares its stand with an upside-down 10-inch A series splash. Next, from left to right, is a stack which consists of a 10-inch K custom special dry splash and a 20-inch crash of doom. Between the hi-hat and the first tom, there's a 10-inch K splash. The ride he used was probably a quite trashy sounding 20-inch K custom dry complex ride. We used the 22-inch medium thin version of the same cymbal since it's what we had on hand. Next up is an 18-inch A thin crash, followed by another stack which is made up of a 12-inch FX China trash, a 16-inch A custom EFX crash, and an 8-inch A custom splash. The kit is completed by an LP Mambo cowbell on the right. To mic it all up, we used a single biodynamic TGD70 just inside the porthole for a nice blend of attack and low end. The main snare is mic'd with M201's top and bottom in a standard fashion. The clap snare has an MC740 not too close to it. The Snom has an M201 on the bottom and a TGD70 on top. Using a bass drum mic here emphasizes the tone and attack of the drum and helps it fit in both the roll as a tom and a snare. The toms have TG-I51s clipped to them for a nice all-around sound. We use MC930s on hi-hat and ride and a spaced pair of M90 Pro X's as overheads. Lastly, we set up an M88 underneath the cowbell and an M201 as a room mic. Now before we get to the results, we at Art of Drumming would like to mention that if you want to help us sustain our work, there's a donation link in the video description below. Our platform, ArtOfDrumming.com, is free and we want to keep providing that for you. That's why every small donation matters all the more to us. Thank you so much for your support. Now, here's Pascal's version of Lingus. also looked at the song Shofukan for this video. Since it's from the same album, the overall drum sound is very similar, so no changes to the drums themselves were necessary. Pascal only redid the mix with mostly longer reverbs. Take a listen. You, our followers, also seem to favor a video dedicated to U2's Larry Mullen Jr., so we're gonna do that in the near future too. Now tell us, what was your favorite part of this video? What do you think about this drum sound? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell if you want to see more videos like this from us. See you next time.